It is a beautiful morning. Even though you're probably not listening to this during the morning, it might be the afternoon, might be the nighttime, but it's a beautiful morning because I'm sitting here on our Catalina Sea Camp Breakdown with two of my favorite people. They are our leadership team for Catalina Sea Camp Fox Landing. We have
Hannah Stillson
and
Adam Wilson.
Woo! Welcome to Catalina Sea Camp, The Breakdown.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, of course. This is something I've been wanting to do. I love, first of all, these podcasts have been really fun, and I get a lot of feedback from families that it's helpful. They get to hear questions and things that maybe they didn't know they had, and then maybe they're like, oh, I was thinking that, and then you answered that in the podcast. And I feel like it's really important for them to know who you guys are. They see me on these podcasts, but they don't know I don't think a lot of people know who you are until they meet you on check-in day. And you guys are just as important, if not as important as I am in this summer camp experience, because we are leadership. We're the admin. We're the administrative leadership at Fox Landing. So if your camper is going to a 1-week program or a 2-week program, we will be the main people taking care of them with the counselors, of course. So we're going to kind of get to know Hannah and we call Adam Wilson. There's kind of a long story. Mainly just there was a lot of Adams on staff, and Wilson's last name is Wilson, so we just started calling him Wilson. That's really as simple as it is. There's not, the story's good, but it's not
it's not crazy.
It's not that crazy, you know. So, well, anyways, let's jump into it. So let's do some introductions. We'll start with Hannah. If you can tell, we've shared your name, Hannah Stillson, your position at camp, where are you from, where'd you go to school, what are you doing right now? Give us a little window into your life.
Yeah, so I'm Hannah. I'm the assistant summer camp director at Fox Landing. I grew up in Southern California my whole life, and then I went to Arizona to get my teaching degree. I have been teaching elementary for 2 years now. I taught kindergarten last year, 2nd grade this year. I love it. I would say I'm living my dream. This is my dream job, what I'm doing right now. Being able to just teach during the school year and be at camp during the summer. That's what I've always dreamed of doing. So, yeah.
That's awesome. What school are you at? What school are you teaching at in Arizona?
Desert Trails in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
It's in the Paradise Valley Unified School District.
Nice. And then you are doing something really fun in the fall. Just tell us what that is. I'm
moving to Thailand in September to teach English.
Wow.
So it's going to be an awesome experience.
But you're going to come back.
Yes.
To work in the summer of 2025. Great. And you answered the question what your dream job was. I think that's so cool that you're doing what your dream job is.
My two dreams. Yeah. I've always dreamed of teaching and camp. Those are my two biggest passions. So being able to do both is my dream come true. What
if you could think of a dream? You're in your dream. I love that for you. Think about something that's bigger, big, crazy, out of this world, almost it feels impossible. But if you could do it, you would do it. Is there something like that?
I wanted to be a marine biologist. I always wanted to, just scuba dive and, study the ocean. So I guess that was what I wanted to do and just didn't do. So if I were to do anything else, it would be that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it works
kind
too.
Kind of being able to do that at camp.
You're getting literally best of all your worlds.
Yes. Yeah.
I love that for you. I really do. I just love that you're doing everything you love and you're making it happen. So let's move over here to our Wilson. Wilson, share everything. Give us a glimpse into your life. Tell us your dream job.
Yeah. Wilson, I'm head counselor at Fox. I'm from a small town just north of Santa Barbara. Grew up there my whole life.
What's it called?
Lompoc, California.
Lompoc. I say Lompoc.
Yeah, it's Lompoc.
And I know you guys don't like that.
Everybody says Lompoc.
So sorry. Okay.
Lompoc. I went up to school at Cal State University, Monterey Bay for marine science, where I just graduated in December.
Congratulations.
And now I'm back home in Lompoc, doing EMT training. So taking this whole semester for that, and then back to summer camp.
Back to camp.
Back to camp. My dream job is either being on the island working summers and school year, or becoming a teacher. I want to do high school teaching. I know you don't enjoy that, too old, but I want to do high school,
Cool.
maybe older middle school. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What kind of subjects?
Math or science.
Okay.
Preferably science, but I know they need math teachers.
Nice.
So any way to get into teaching.
Cool. And you do other things on the island. So you are our head counselor at Fox,
Yes.
but last summer you did another job. What job was
Yeah,
that?
I got to go to Toyon for the last session and I got my scuba instructor, so I got to teach scuba classes. So
Sick.
that's another one of my passions, scuba diving. My dream job is either teaching or becoming a diving safety officer at an aquarium, a
Nice.
college. Just teaching diving is one of my passions. Teaching diving is just perfect.
Great. Yeah. No, it's good. We've got people that like to teach young people that like to teach old people, mix it together. We have a great, I mean, not old people, but like, you know what I mean.
Older.
People like to teach geriatrics. Can you imagine if we had a camp for like people over the age of 55? Is that too young? Is 55 young? I think we have people who are 55 in this office. I mean, 70?
They can come to camp.
You can come to camp. We'll create a program for you. Anyways, moving on. So I want to hear how you guys got involved in Sea Camp. Like, what was your first exposure to Catalina Sea Camp? Let's start with Wilson.
Yeah, so I got to go to the school year program at Toyon for 3 different years, and that's really why I chose to do marine science.
Cool.
So I decided my senior year that I wanted to do marine science and that I wanted to come back to the island somehow. And so when I was here, I asked, how can I come back? And they said, until you have a degree, like summers. And so I came my first summer, 2021, to Fox and just fell in love. Fox is my happy place.
Yeah, cool. Great. What about you?
So I started going to camp when I was 4.
Right.
And then
But you have a
day
unique
camp,
yeah,
day camp.
yeah.
And then I think I was 12 and I wanted to try out sleepaway camp. So I came over to Toyon. I did 4 summers at Toyon and just loved it. Yeah, and then I always dreamed of working on the island as a camp counselor. You inspired me. You're one of my inspirations. So yeah, then during COVID is when I was supposed to come to the island
Yeah.
and work.
You got hired in 2020.
I was hired for Toyon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we didn't run the summer.
No.
So that whole staff, we had hired a whole staff for the summer of 2020. I was going to be the assistant director at Toyon. And when we shut down because of COVID, like we couldn't hire anybody.
Yeah.
And we felt really bad because we had this whole group of staff that we were like getting amped up and ready for the summertime. And then when the next summer came around, 2021, and I got offered the director position at Fox, I was like, I told Paul, I was like, I'm stealing Hannah. I'm taking Hannah with me. She's coming with me to Fox.
And that was an easy decision for me, just
Cool.
coming over to work with you and, start that program at Fox Landing.
Yeah.
It was just really exciting.
Yeah, no, Hannah was my camper. What year was it? Like 2015?
2000.
14?
Was it? No, I think it was 13 or 14.
13 or 14. It might have been 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were my camper, and then you came back and you weren't my camper, but we still we're close.
Yeah.
But your little sister was my camper.
Yeah.
So we have history.
Lots of history.
You weren't ever my camper.
No.
But that's okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I love that you both, your first experiences were actually being campers. So it's nice. I mean, we hire a lot of people who weren't campers and kind of just found us on the internet or met us through friends. But I think there's something really unique about having staff that know what it's like to be a kid in these programs, because you can kind of put yourself in their shoes a lot easier.
Yeah. Give that experience back.
Yeah.
That you received
100%.
as a camper.
Yeah, totally. Sweet. So let's move on. Tell me if there was a pivotal moment in your first summer. So both of your first summers working was summer 2021 with me on counseling staff. You guys were crew captains. You went right into the leadership roles, which is very unique and different. We could talk more about that. But that first summer 2021 at Sea Camp Fox Landing, was there a pivotal moment that made you feel like I want to keep going back. I want to come back for another summer, because this is going to be your 4th summers working on staff, and that's like unique. Not a lot of people stay that long.
Yeah.
So maybe share with us if there's any moments that really helped you realize, like, I want to keep working for this program. We can start with Hannah.
I think that it was just really unique being able to come in and like be on leadership and help create those new traditions, like for the very first time at Fox Landing. Starting the Olympics and just, the sea trip to Italy and having a part in that.
Yeah.
It was just really special. So that's what has made me want to stay on leadership and continue to help you build the program. And
Cool. What about you, Wilson?
I'd say nothing in particular. I've had that love for the ocean and just sharing it with all these campers and seeing how much we're able to change them and make them just have an awesome time. That's why I stay, is just seeing how much the kids enjoy all of it and how they love it.
Yeah. No, I mean, even myself, I'm the director. I'm not on like I'm not doing the counseling stuff anymore, but there's been something really fun, especially with you guys and people who've stuck. Like it feels like we're building. Like we have the bones, right? Sea Camp is for everyone watching, Catalina Sea Camp used to only be at Toyon Bay for a really long time. And then in 2020, after COVID, when we realized we were gonna run in 2021, we split up. And that was where I came into the picture. They were like, hey, Jacqui, we're gonna run our younger campers over at Fox. We're gonna see if it works. We don't know if it's gonna work. We're gonna try it out. And it worked, and it was really successful. And I think it's because I had people like you on staff who were like, let's build this.
Kind.
Like, let's come up with new ideas. Let's figure it out, and make it work and be flexible. And I think that we've been kind of doing that for 4 years straight now, which has been, but it's been fun, It's like,
it's been the time of my life making all these programs.
Yeah, it's like you're really building something new and trying things for the very first time and having to like fail at them and be like, okay,
find what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, and change it around. So I think I can imagine how that's been like huge for you guys to be like, I'm helping create something. When I started as a counselor, it was like everything was there. Like it was a well-oiled machine at Toyon. It still is. And it's well-oiled machine all over. Our programs are wonderful. But when I joined, like Paul was the director still. He'd been there for a while, and it was like chug and plug. Like you come in, you know what you're gonna do, you know what the programs are. Like nothing's has changed a whole lot. And at Fox, it was like, so we're going to do this thing for the first time. We're going to see how it works and just roll with the punches. And I think we all did that really well. So
we add new things every summer.
Yeah. Every summer,
It's different every summer, and that's been the best part of it all.
Yeah.
Like an honor to be a part of.
Yeah.
Yes.
And kids keep coming back.
Yes.
And more of them keep coming back. So it's just like, we're doing something right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like there's something going on right that we're making happen. So that's awesome. Ooh, memories. Okay. Is there like a favorite memory? Like I know this is a vague, like broad question, but think of something that just like pops in your mind. Like if you could have this memory written into like a comic book or like a book that you can have forever and share with your grandchildren and your grandchildren's grandchildren, like think of that kind of memory working at Sea Camp. What would be? Do one of you have one that comes to mind?
I don't. No. Just everything has been just so fun. It's every single day is something new. You'd never know what to expect. And some days are better than others, but it's just, you never know what's going to happen every single day at Sea Camp.
Yeah.
There's just too many.
Exactly.
I would say like my most special part of, the time at camp for me is campfire. I look around at campfire and I just see so many smiling faces and like it actually brings tears to my eyes. I think that time just singing songs around the campfire is the most special time during the camp day.
Yeah.
A specific memory that I think of would be one time I joined the Seas in Italy. And I just sat on the rocks with this group of girls and we were braiding each other's hair and making Turk's heads, and that was just, a good memory.
Yeah.
So anytime I can just sit down with a small group of campers and bond with them.
Get out of the office
Yeah.
and hang out with kids.
Just hang out with the kids.
Yeah, because we are in the
That's
office.
what brings me back
Right.
to camp every summer.
Yeah.
Those connections. So,
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Do you have like one memory?
One memory.
Give me a story. Give me something. Throw it at me. Throw it in my face.
Think back to your counselor summer.
My counselor
Yeah, what about when you were a
summer.
counselor? Is there like something that happened where you're like, that was the best? Or if I could relive that
I
moment.
have such a bad memory.
You're like,
On the spot, the
don't
cameras.
About your luau crew night.
Well, I'll say one for me, because I have a lot too. And I have a lot over the years. I mean, different categories of memories, right? There's memories with staff. There's memories with kids. There's memories with your leadership team. But if I could point one out that was really pivotal for me as a director when I became a director at Fox, I think it was the second summer maybe. And I'm going to call him out because he's great. Ian Weaver. He's a counselor. He hopefully he comes back this summer as our EMT. We're still trying to figure that out. But he was a new counselor. I don't think he had ever been to the program before. He was a referral from a friend. You know, we hired him. He had a group of campers, and in training week we do a lot of training. Right? We're like, I mean, it's like a fire hose to the face for these counselors of like getting them ready for summer. And, you know, you're always like, I hope they're remembering. I hope they're like digesting these things and like taking them and using them with their kids and implementing them in their day to day. And I remember coming down from campfire, it was like late at night, and I saw one of his campers like having a little bit of a hard time, emotional, getting worked up. I don't even know what it was about, honestly, but I saw it and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna go help. And I kind of like started, Director Jacqui, like making my way over there. And I kind of like let Ian approach first. And I kind of from afar was like being there, but not in there. And he handled the whole thing perfectly. He did the full 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method for calming down a camper that's feeling anxious. And the way he verbalized it, and you know, he had the hand on the shoulder, like the calming. I mean, he hit every note that we said.
That's awesome.
And I watched it, and I was like, and I like got chills, and I like was getting emotional. We always cry in the summertime because we're just exhausted, but we're always so happy about things. And it's just like, wow, we did teach something.
Yeah.
Like it worked. Like training week worked. Not that it doesn't
good.
work. It works. Everything works. But we can even take that part out. Our training works, I swear. But you know, you're just talking to these students who are just came out of a full year of college, right? And you know, they're sitting on an island looking at a PowerPoint, and you're telling them how to manage behavior, right? And they're just like, but he calmed that camper down perfectly.
That's
it was a
awesome.
great, like, wow. I didn't need to involve myself at all. I didn't even need to worry about it. And I just stepped away, and I was like, he's got this. And I think that as a director, that made me feel really proud and like we're doing something right.
Yeah. It's
Like
awesome watching counselors come back and grow
Yes.
100%.
every summer.
And change. I mean, that's the other part about this job that's so awesome is, you know, yes, we love hanging out with the kids, and the kids are like our priority, you know, but we hire a staff of like 40 counselors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
A
they're
huge
all
part of our role is coaching them.
working
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we can jump into that because, our next question is, as our administrative leadership team, so we are administrative leadership team, how do you guys, like, if you could explain to the parents, like, how do you support the campers? How do you support the staff? Like, if you could, like, summarize your jobs and what you do, you know?
Yeah. I guess I take all of my experiences that I've learned over the years working at summer camps and kind of coach our counselors to use them in their own way, you know, and find who they are as a counselor, guiding them along, you know, that journey as a counselor, in order to just support their campers and yeah.
What about kiddos? Like, if a parent was like, well, what would you do for my kid in camp? Or like, how are you involved in my kid's experience at camp? How would you answer that?
I see the counselors as being like first in line for the campers.
Front runners, yeah.
They're the go-to for the campers. And then if a camper needs something, maybe, you know, a little bit bigger. If they're homesick, if they're just having a hard day, that's when I'll step in and be there for them. I like to be, one-on-one with campers. I think that's the special part of my role is, when you have a group, you are with your group of kids. And it's sometimes hard to connect one-on-one with a camper. So that's when I come in to be that, specific camper's go-to person if they just need a little bit extra support.
Yeah, cool. Paul used to call, I'm gonna name drop again, but he's awesome. I don't know if he'll watch these. His name's David Reed. He was the assistant camp director when I was a counselor back in 2012. And Paul would always call him his child whisperer.
Yeah.
Just the person that came in, that extra that extra support, that a little bit more foundation for that kid to kind of thrive at camp. And I do feel like that's, you do that and you help us in that department. So
it gives me the opportunity to make really close relationships with those, specific kids that I work with and help through the week.
Yeah, totally. So what about you, Wilson? Your title kind of focuses more on staff, right? So share with us a little bit about your connection with the staff and then, how you are involved in the campers' lives too.
Yeah, so I spend a lot of time just hanging out, helping out the counselors. So I'll go to quad time and check in with them, see how they're doing, be there for support, help hang out with the campers as well, but more for the staff more than anything. And then sometimes definitely I'll hang out with the kids during the socials and everything. I'll be in there partying with everybody else. And then I'd say during program I spend more time in the office or go in during classes I'll go check in one-on-one with the counselors more when I have more time. They're not as busy with watching the campers, hanging out with them because the instructors are working with them more. Yeah,
cool. So it's I've got the child whisperer, the staff whisperer, and then what do I do? I'm just kidding.
Everything else.
I do a little bit of everything. So when you parents call, when you call the office, you'll probably get one of us, or you might get office operations counselor Evie. Evie's awesome. She'll definitely be communicating with you guys about airport and stuff like that. Let's do a couple get to know me questions and then we'll kind of wrap this up. This one's I've always felt like is a hard question, but I'm just curious. If you could have dinner with any 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be and why? Does anybody want to go first?
Wilson can go
For
first.
one, I would definitely say George Washington.
Really?
So random, I know, but he started this country. I don't know. That's just crazy to me that he was I'll be president. Why not? And then he did everything.
Yeah.
I think it's so interesting to see why he made certain decisions, how he felt. I don't know, maybe imposter syndrome. I feel like that'd be crazy. If I was president, I'd be like, why am I here?
Yeah.
But so definitely him, just to pick his brain and see why.
Cool.
One would be my grandfather. He passed away. I didn't really have a relationship with him. I was just too young. And just to get to know him, I've heard a lot of cool things about him, some awesome stories about him working at a hospital, stuff like that. So would love to just get to know him better, have more relationship. And I cannot think of a third. Somebody I love to learn about everything. So maybe Jacques Cousteau.
Oh, there you go.
Scuba diving founder.
Yeah.
Guy who just invented it. It'd be so interesting. Same thing, just figure out how he decided to do this, how he made everything.
Yeah. Cool.
Those would be my 3.
Those are great. Great 3. I think it helps people learn about you, the 3 people.
Your interests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I like the question. Okay, what about you, Hannah?
Okay, before I answer, who's that therapist that we...
Brene Brown.
Yes. So my 3, or I have 2 so far. I'm still thinking of my 3rd. But my first one would be Brene Brown.
Okay.
I just love the way she thinks.
She's awesome.
About just how people work with each other. So yeah, Brene Brown. I'd love to pick her brain, just have a conversation with her. My second one would be Michael Franti.
Oh, the artist?
The artist.
Okay.
Yeah. I just love his beliefs. He runs a really cool program in Bali that I've just been interested in going. He's just a really cool person that I'd like to hang out with.
Yeah, cool.
Still thinking of my third.
Okay.
Yeah. Come back to you.
Yeah. Great. Okay. And then this question is kind of out there. If you could bring any new activity to Fox Landing Sea Camp, like no boundary, no limitations, like if we could have anything there, and I've heard you say some crazy ideas, what would you bring? Just give me one.
Skydiving.
Skydiving? Just like
bungee jumping. Something extreme.
Okay.
Extreme.
Okay, that's a good one. Love that.
Yeah, just something, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is
but
crazy.
Like something that would push, children, to
challenge by choice.
Just challenge them. I think that would just be really crazy, but really fun.
Oh my gosh, that would be so nuts. We just have we just have like
an airplane. That just.
I'm just picturing like Fox Landing skydiving team like coming in.
That's just the first thing that came to mind, and I think that would be really fun.
Yeah, that would be really fun. Okay, great.
And the views that they would be able to see from the sky, like
gorgeous.
They'd be able to see the entire island in their experience coming to Catalina Sea Camp.
Yeah, that's true.
Skydive into camp on Invasion Day with all their luggage.
That's the only way they get into camp.
They have to
jump out of the
plane.
Oh man, that would not fly, but
no, it would not.
But it's outside the box.
Yes,
love it. What about you, Wilson?
I don't know what it's called, but like almost like parasailing. You know how they have that huge thing, but
on a boat.
Not on the boat. Just like they have that kite, right? And then you just hop on it. I feel like it's like the opposite of parachuting. No, it's not even like water. Just like you stand on land, you get your kite, and then like wind like pulls you up, and then you're just like flying wherever with your little kite. You know what I'm talking about?
Hang gliding.
Not hang gliding. It's like an actual parachute, and they do it like near mountain sides. Like they start on the ground. I saw them doing it down in San Diego, but they do it up in Monterey, and it's like the coolest thing ever. Just like flying.
So you guys want the kids to fly?
Yes.
You guys are like, we want them to be in the air.
We have water. We have land.
We need air.
We need air.
And fire.
And fire.
We have high ropes, but more extreme.
Yeah, more extreme.
Yeah, extreme. The two things I would do, you came up with the idea of having a gondola.
I would love a gondola.
A gondola from the bottom of Fox all the way up to the road. And that was how we like get kids to the road so that we can get them in the Toyon Suburbans.
If there was no budget, no limitations, I think that would be so cool.
That's the way to go.
I think that would be so cool too.
Agree.
So
any way to get kids to be able to explore,
see other parts of the island.
Yeah,
the interior. The interior of the island is like so crazy and fun.
Yeah.
So that one, and then of course my other dream one is water sports, wakeboarding, wake surfing. I think that one's really attainable. Actually, I just gotta get it.
It's like Fox sports teams.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to get a swim team. I want to do a Fox swim team. That's like one of my brain childs for activities for our 2-week is because we get a lot of swimmers, a lot of kids that play water polo, and we have a lot of swimmers and water polo kids on our staff too, and just like have cool caps that say like Fox swim team on it.
Yeah.
Producer Patrick, you could train for a triathlon. We could do a Fox swim team hike and bike like through the camp. We love just having hamster wheels of ideas. I think that's another reason why we have so much fun is we just like we're always thinking of like the next best thing. What's something cool we could do? What can we add? What's in the budget? So
no bad ideas, just maybe not attainable.
Right.
Yeah.
Reach for the
big
stars.
Big dreams.
Yeah, big dreams. Dream big. Awesome. Well, I think that is kind of all I have for y'all. Parents, if you have any questions, if you ever want to chat with these two, the summertime is the time to do that. But if you have questions for them, you can always email me. My email will be in the description. And we're looking forward to meeting you and your kiddos this summer in Long Beach at Check-in Day.
It'll be a great summer.
It's going to be a great summer. We're very excited. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.